I've gone from being 252 pounds to being 180 pounds just within the last 3-ish years. Actually, I'm somewhere in the 170s because I just got surgery to remove my loose skin and I got a breast reduction. So pop my collar. Because, I mean, with surgery included, we are freaking over 80 pounds down, all right? Praise God, praise God. But with my experience of yo-yo dieting over the years, of losing the weight and gaining it back and losing and gaining and losing and gaining, to finally having sustainable weight loss that has been steady for the past 3 years, just going down slowly but surely, I have some healthy weight loss habits for you that I want to share and I hope you find incredibly helpful. Number 1 would be to track something, okay? You don't need to track everything, but track something. If you're someone who wants to track their weigh-ins every single day, you do you, boo-boo. That actually kind of drives me a little insane, so I don't do it. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Track something, whether it's your weight, whether it's your calories, whether it's just your fiber, or even how much you're moving and your physical activity. Track something just to make sure that you're actually fighting for change and doing something different every single day that you know will add up and result in you becoming closer to the person that you're dreaming yourself to be. When it comes to this tracking rule, I personally just like tracking my calories. I have gone through periods where I tracked my weight and I tracked it every day or every week or every month, but I haven't been tracking for a long time now because I know if I'm doing what I need to do every day, that the scale is going to reflect that my body is going to reflect that change is inevitable. When I first started my weight loss journey, I would track my calories and my macros. And it was just incredibly overwhelming, not only trying to change my diet to hit a smaller caloric goal, but also make sure it fell within these macro periods too, making sure I'm hitting my fat, my carbs, and my protein. This is why when I work with clients of my own as a personal trainer, I start them off the first month or so just tracking the calories. Let's track the calories and make sure we're hitting the goal. Once you feel you can do that, you're consistent with that, then sure, let's start looking at the macros. But if you're starting off, it's so much easier if you keep it simple. Track your calories consistently, make sure you're in a deficit. And if you want to track any additional things, I would say right after the calories that fiber and protein are what's next important on that list. Before your carbs, before the fat. If you put all of your effort into dialing in and honing in and focusing on those 3 things, you will see change while still keeping your life relatively simple. Do something every single day. Find a way to move your body every day. I like to try to find a way to move for at least 30 minutes. If I can't go to the gym and devote an hour, hour and a half, at least 30 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's a walk, if it's a run, a bike ride, if I spend 30 minutes doing yoga inside my house, just take the time to be intentional about exercise and do something. Get up and move every single day. For the days you don't feel like doing anything at all, find something else to do that's less intensive, but still try to do something every day. Remember, this is a lifestyle change, okay? Like, you aren't looking to just make a change for 3 months or 6 months. Because if you look at it that way, after that 3 or 6 months period, you'll hit the goal, but then you're like, okay, now I can go back to normal me. Normal you it's the size that you were before. It's the eating habits that you had before. The lack of exercise that you had before. This isn't about doing a quick little diet and a quick little focus. This is about you practicing and learning habits and learning how to live your life in a completely different way. In the beginning, it's rough to make these changes, but it starts to feel easy. It starts to feel normal, and it gets easier over time. And if you start right now promising yourself that you're going to find 30 minutes, 20 minutes even, to just move your body every single day, then over time, it becomes easy, it becomes expected, it becomes a part of your life. Learn to recognize your triggers. We all have things that set us off, that make us want to give up, that make us want to throw our hands in the air and just say, oh, forget today. Today's the cheat day, the rest of the day is over, it's trash, like, who cares? Recognize those triggers, those moments, those situations, and the feelings that prompt you to give up on yourself during the day, and find a way to combat it. I know for myself, when I don't move, it tends to be a trigger. If I have a lazy day, that also tends to be a day where I'm eating more. where I'm like, I feel like a lazy slob. I'm gonna act and eat like a lazy slob, you know? I work from home, and if I have a day where I'm on my computer working all day, I end up feeling so drained and so lethargic and so kind of down and sad that I'm just like, at least I wanna use food to make myself a bit happier. And that's when I convince myself to order a pizza or to get that burger or whatever else it is that doesn't necessarily fit into my goals for that day. So take time to recognize your triggers, document those moments, and start to be curious about, I notice I'm eating more at this time during this day after these emotions. This is what is prompting me to turn towards food. This is what is prompting me to feel demotivated. Start noticing that, because the quicker you do, the quicker you'll be able to remedy it. Okay, speaking of going down a spiral and those moments, they will come. They will come. We are human beings. Our emotions fluctuate. Our motivation fluctuates. So one thing I like to do, and I think is an incredibly healthy habit for weight loss, is keeping a journal of non-scale related milestones. We all like to get on the scale and celebrate a new low weigh-in, but there's gonna be so much else to celebrate on this journey. Keep a journal and document those moments, because they can be fleeting and they can be hard to remember, but they are incredibly rewarding, and you're gonna find it so helpful to have documented those moments. So let's try to shift the focus from the scale to our quality of life. As you experience positive changes, positive emotions and feelings, write them down. You tried on an outfit and your clothes are fitting better. They look better on you. You went up a flight of stairs and you weren't winded, or you weren't sweating as much as you usually do. You're waking up with more energy. You had a really good workout or a really good day where you hit your diet perfectly. People noticing your weight loss, write that stuff down. Write all of that down. And on the days where you're struggling, where you feel unmotivated or you're just feeling down, you can crack open that little journal and read over these real changes and real experiences you've had, that you'll know, I am making a change. I am doing it. Today I'm feeling down, but look how far I've come and what I've already accomplished. It's so important to prepare for the negative moments, because they will come. I have had so many of them. I know I don't share them all on YouTube. Like, you guys have been watching me struggle with my weight loss journey for years. And it's very rare when I actually kind of get on here and I'm crying on camera or talking about a down day I've had, but they exist. And one thing that always keeps me going is the fact that I've been documenting this journey. I can easily go back and look at videos and say, wow, look how different I look. Look how much I was lifting then versus now. Look at how flexible I've been. My YouTube channel is a digital video journal that provides me these experiences and opportunities for when I'm having down days to look back, to snap me out of my funk, to know that what I'm doing is working. It takes time, but it's working, because weight loss will take time. You will have setbacks. You will be feeling like the changes aren't coming, nothing is happening, you don't see it working, but it is happening. And my story is proof of that. Go back and look at my videos. See how different my face looks, my body looks, everything. Like, this has taken time, and I've had so many moments where I wanted to give up on documenting this journey. Like, I was never gonna give up on my own weight loss. Like, I just could never accept it. I could never. But there were definitely times where I thought, I feel stupid documenting this. I'm just showing the world how I am failing over and over and over. But I kept showing up for myself, and I kept showing up on camera. I kept my own journal of this experience. And now here I am, getting so close to the other side, so close to my goal. And I still have my days where I'm like, yo, the last 20 pounds, yo, this is taking forever. I've been doing this for so long, but I know that what I'm doing is working. And when I hit my goal, as I've hit goals before, it doesn't matter if it took 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how long it took. Once you're at that end goal, you're just gonna be happy that you're there. Now, thinking about the time that weight loss can take leads us into the next point. Focus on what you can control. You can't control how long it's gonna take. You can't control how quickly or slowly the scale is going to move. The only thing you can control is how you continuously show up for yourself. You can control whether or not you're hitting your calories for today, and the next day and the next day and the next day. You can control whether or not you're getting movement in and working out. You can't control how slow or fast the scale is going to move or how slow or fast your body is going to respond, but you can control how consistent you are. Stick to the plan, trust the plan, and don't let things that are outside of your control waver you. Don't let it stop you. The scale seems to be slowing down, it's not moving, maybe you're in a plateau. Stay consistent. I've had too many moments where I was worried and got all consumed about the things I couldn't control. I had to get to a point where I just didn't care what the scale said, where it just really didn't matter to me, where I had to trust and believe in the science, in the math. Your body will do what it's supposed to do. It's going to do what God designed for it to do. And if you're consuming less energy than you're burning, you're going to lose fat. You're going to shrink. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you have PCOS. It doesn't matter if you're in a plateau. It doesn't matter if you have hormonal imbalances. Like, there are things that, of course, might make it more challenging, might make it more difficult. It might slow it down. But at the end of the day, it's still going to happen. You are still going to be losing fat, and you're going to see a change if you're consuming less energy than you burn. So focus on what you can control. Focus on your diet, focus on your movement, and just let time do its thing. Another little habit or rule that I kind of like to have for myself, and I think it's really good to have, is to never miss more than 2 or 3 days in a row. Choose whatever number works for you, but I give myself probably 2 days. And I like to tell myself to not miss more than 2 days in a row. There will be days when life gets busy, where I give into a craving, where I'm not feeling motivated and I just want to have a lie-in. If I need to rest, I rest. If I want to eat, I'll eat. But I'm not gonna let more than 2 days go by before I get back on track, before I get back to doing what I know I need to be doing. I find this rule so helpful because it's inevitable that you're going to have down days. You're gonna have moments where you slip up, or it's a birthday party, it's whatever. It's inevitable, right? But if I'm setting a rule knowing that I'm never gonna let more than 2 days go by before, I'm working out again at the gym, or before I'm back to tracking my calories, or before I'm just trying to eat healthy and be more mindful, then it always gets me to focus on my future actions in the next day rather than just ruminating in the past. I don't need to beat myself up. Oh man, I had a cheat day yesterday. What was I thinking? How could I give into the moment? I'm just a horrible person. I'm a fatty that's gonna stay a fatty forever. No. I had that day, okay, what we doing tomorrow? The next day is just so much more important. Let's break this chain and keep it moving. And that's how you stay consistent, because one slip up, one cheat meal, one bad weigh-in, one day does not matter. If it's just one day of seeing the scale go up, one day of you eating more than you planned, or one day of you lazing about and just not doing what you need to do, one day of bad choices or even good choices does not matter more than what you're doing on average. All that matters is on average, your weight is going down. On average, you're getting your movement in. On average, you're eating in a caloric deficit. Whether good or bad, what happens on one day is so much less important than what's happening on average. So don't let one day get you down. Set your 2 or 3 day rule and always jump back on it. This leads me to my next point, which is give yourself grace. Honestly, give yourself grace and expect failure. You will, without a doubt, make mistakes on your fitness journey. There is literally no way to avoid it. You're trying to change your normal. You're trying to relearn how to live life, relearn how to eat, relearn how you think about yourself and your own self-perception. So during this journey, there's gonna be some slip-ups. There's gonna be some old you peeking back through. Expect for that to happen, and also learn to give yourself grace. You won't be able to change the fact that you're going to make mistakes, like that is going to happen, but you can change how you react to it. Instead of reacting with criticism and telling yourself, this is just who you are, you could never change, see, look at me, doing the same thing I've always done, there's no hope for me, I'm never gonna change. Instead of going down that negative spiral and convincing yourself that you're stuck in these ways, Get rid of that mindset and that mentality. Try to avoid reacting with that type of negative criticism and instead give yourself compassion. When I make a mistake, it's not just, oh, look at me, fat Ashley, always gonna stay fat. No, it's okay, made a mistake. It's bound to happen because I'm working on changing. I am a work in progress. It's only natural to slip back, so let's keep moving. And also, if I were to respond with criticism and beating myself up, how is that going to help me in the future? How is me telling myself, you'll always be this way, this is why you slipped up, you're forever going to be this person, this is helpless? How is that going to help me tomorrow or the next day? I'm like basically just digging myself deeper into a hole that I won't be able to get out of. If we react with criticism, we're less likely to learn from our mistakes. We're less likely to try again. We're less likely to ultimately see success. Versus if you react and respond with compassion and respond with grace and curiosity, you're more likely to say, oh, okay, made a mistake. It's all right, we'll get back on the horse tomorrow, but I wonder what triggered that? Recognizing your triggers, right? I slipped up. Why did I slip up? What can I do to avoid it next time? What triggered this moment for me? If you practice on responding with compassion, you'll have an easier time learning and growing from that behavior and ultimately overcoming it. Another small healthy weight loss habit that I do want to mention is keeping some of the snacks that you find yourself addicted to that are really hard to put down. The unput downable snacks, that's what we'll call them. The unput downable foods, everyone's is gonna be a bit different because our palates are different. But those, maybe put them out of reach. Maybe don't purchase them at all while you're trying to learn and regain discipline over your eating habits. We are creatures of habit. And studies have shown that if a food is in front of your face and sitting on your counter or easily accessible, the more likely you are to grab it. And if it's an unput downable snack, then all hell's broke loose, okay? So it's really smart to take the time to rearrange your house. If you have snacks that you always go for that you know aren't the best, that you struggle with craving, if you can, don't purchase them. Don't put them in the house. Find a healthier alternative to replace them. And also figure out why you're so addicted to it. Is it the taste? Is it the sweetness, the saltiness? Is it the texture? There's a lot of different things that make food addictive to us for different reasons. And so maybe figure that out, find an alternative and replace it. Or if you live in the house and you have kids and you have a husband and other people, then just put it out of your eyesight, out of sight, out of mind. Don't have it within your grasp and you're less likely to reach for it as often. And lastly, be honest with yourself. You are the only person who really knows how much effort you're putting into your health and fitness journey. So you need to be brutally honest with yourself. And I have found with clients of my own and even in my own experience, that's the hardest part, is like being honest with ourselves. Sometimes we're lying to ourselves and we might not even be fully aware. We just completely delulu, okay? But you need to be brutally honest with yourself. If you're tracking calories and you're doing everything you need to be doing, but the weight's not coming off, you aren't being honest with yourself. There is something that's falling between the cracks and only you can figure it out. Only you have the tools in knowing what's slipping between the cracks here. How can I be honest? Am I really tracking everything I eat? Am I counting the little secret snacks that I have through the day? Or maybe when I'm cooking dinner, while I'm cooking, I get extra bites and taste. Am I tracking all of that? If you know, you track your days and you have great days, but you're prone to getting up in the middle of the night and sneaking a bite to eat or sneaking a Coca-Cola or whatever it might be that you're doing but not logging or being honest with yourself about. That's the thing that's stopping you from seeing success. So learn to be brutally honest with yourself. And being brutally honest, again, does not mean being negative. It doesn't mean being critical. It means just owning up to what it is you're doing, the effort you're actually putting into this. Because remember, we don't want to be critical. We want to be curious and we want to be compassionate, because mistakes are bound to happen on this journey of you changing your life. You are learning how to live life in a completely new way. You are bound to make mistakes. And mistakes aren't a bad thing. Mistakes are your biggest opportunities for growth. If you're making mistakes, then that's telling you, oh, this is what's hindering me. I have these mistakes. Let's unravel them. Let's unpack them. Let's figure out a way to avoid them. Because once I conquer these mistakes, It's go time. Our mistakes are an opportunity to learn more about ourselves, to learn more about our habits, and to remedy them. Hope you guys found this video helpful. I know this is advice I wish I had, and it's just some things I've had to learn along the way on my own journey, and so I wanted to share with you. Sending you all the positive vibes. I will see you on Sunday with a brand new video. Thanks so much for watching.